Hi, I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor.
And I'm Pauline Mosley. Welcome to our next episode.
And this is really very timely because the weather is warming up. It's already May, and people are looking forward to swimming.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people have pools in their home or they go to the beach. Not everybody survives. And Samantha Pfeffer, her sister, when she was a little over 2, drowned in a pool. And Samantha has really played a very constructive role in trying to make sure that this won't happen to other people. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself and the foundation you formed.
So my name is Samantha, and I'm a junior at Edgemont High School. And so me and my family learned, after my sister drowned, me and my family learned that drowning is the #1 cause of death in children ages 1 to 4. And that was really surprising for us. So we decided that we have to do something about it. And so we started the Water Guardian Foundation, which is for spreading awareness. And we also created the Water Guardian tag, which is like a tag that someone wears around their neck to designate them as the specific adult keeping in charge of the child, because the reason most children drown is because no one knows who's taking care of the child. So it always gets lost in translation, and there's too many responsibilities for an adult, and they just lose track of where their child is. So we created the Water Guardian tag, so someone would always have a specific role for taking care of the child. And so what my role is I'm the president, and I took initiative recently, and I started spreading awareness myself and speaking to as many places as I could. So I've spoken here a couple of times, and I've spoken to pediatricians, and I've spoken to nursery schools, just to warn them that drowning is so severe and no one really knows about it and takes it seriously because no one thinks it's going to happen to them.
Did your sister drown in a private pool?
Yeah, we were staying in a house in West Hampton, and we were getting ready to go to the beach, and no one really was watching her, and she drowned when no one was looking.
How many years ago was that?
I want to say 8, and now I'm 17, so we're 9 years.
Right. Again, nobody realizes, because sometimes when you're at a pool, like I live in a condo, and there's a swimming pool, and there's a lot of parents, and they have young kids, and most of the parents are spending time talking to their friends, and then they get distracted, and they may not be looking when their young child is in the pool, and it takes a second. And that's really what your foundation is trying to do. You're trying to create awareness, and I think you've done a really excellent job so far. I'm so impressed with you because you've appeared before the town board meetings. I had a radio program you were on, on that. But you feel you're making an impact?
I do. I feel like even if the impact is small and it's just one family, that's enough, because any tragedy that I can help, I want to change.
Whose idea was forming the foundation?
It was definitely my parents' idea because I was young, but now I feel like I'm definitely coming up with more of the ideas, and they're there to help me when I need it.
And do you have other people other students from Edgemont that you were able to recruit to help you bring this awareness, or is it just a foundation, just you and family members? It's
really just me, but in Edgemont, I actually created a club to sponsor people to become lifeguards, because I noticed how little lifeguards there are. There's always, every time I see there's a lifeguard hiring sign around Greenburgh, and I realized that, and I thought about why people can't be lifeguards, and I thought it was because it's very time consuming and there's a lot of money involved. So I wanted to sponsor people to become lifeguards. I mean, that's not really spreading awareness about the Water Guardian Foundation, but I know it's making an impact.
So could you tell us what the foundation is going to be doing this summer, in terms of the programs dealing with lifeguards?
So this summer, I plan to sponsor people around Greenburgh to become lifeguards, and they can work for free. So I sponsor them, and then in return, they will do community service for private pools around Greenburgh. So ultimately, I'm paying for them, and like in return, they'll get a job as well. And then we also
you're giving them the scholarship so they could take a course on how to become a lifeguard. Is that?
yeah,
And become certified.
yeah.
And
That's
is that usually expensive? Taking a course?
It is very expensive. It's around $400 to $500. So it will definitely be easier for people to take part. And I'm sponsoring children to learn how to swim and take care of themselves when they fall into water. So there's this program called ISR, or Infant Swimming Resource, and we sponsor them. So it's a 10-week program where for 10 minutes once a week, children come in and they practice like floating on their backs and turning and just doing little strokes, so they're able to get out of the water when they need it.
That is like amazing. Before I forget, how do people get in touch with the foundation?
Well, that's why I'm spreading awareness. I'm trying to reach out to as many people as possible through here, and we spread it like, I have a website, so
What's the website?
it's waterguardianfoundation.com.
I'm also wondering, as town supervisor, what should I be is there anything that I could do during the summer season to make it safer for for families, or to spread awareness? Should let's say we have a large pool, and there's a interactive kiddie pool. Are there things that we're not doing that we could do that could promote safety?
I think the most important part of safety is that there's someone watching the child. I mean, there are parts to safety like having fences around the pools and having alarms around the pools, but someone keeping contact with the child to make sure that they are safe.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
For whatever it is, I'm just thinking sort of out loud. We have an interactive kiddie pool at Anthony Veteran Park. Are you familiar with that area? And I'm sort of wondering, if it would make sense to have like some signage, or maybe some, creative posters, saying, drowning is an accident, has happened, around. Even though we have lifeguards, be extra careful, never leave your kid alone. Are there things that like a municipality could do that could, or even a county or at a beach, that could make people aware? Because a lot of people, they know that kids, drown, but they, like you said, they think it's never going to happen to them.
Well, so there was recently a law that was passed where like new families have to learn about drowning and the severity of drowning. So I think that will be very helpful. I'm not sure, it was passed recently, so I'm not sure how much is really going on with it. I know that's important, but in terms of like pools, I know a sign would definitely be helpful, and just like continuing to spread awareness and reminding people, because they always forget. And like that is part of the Water Guardian tag. It's supposed to be a reminder. Not only the person is supposed to wear it, but they're supposed to remember that it exists and remember that drowning is real.
If you had like a poster that you could create, and the town would agree to put it up, or is that something that you'd be interested in?
Yeah.
And maybe we could, at the pool, at different locations of the pool, we could have like warning posters, and maybe one of the things that you might want to do is like design something that you think is great, talking about the foundation, with warnings. Maybe there's other families that have had, tragedies, and we could sort of, highlight that. I think that we really almost have to scare, parents. I know my niece just gave birth to, gave birth a year ago to a baby, and she's going to learn how to swim. But everybody thinks, oh, the baby is brilliant. We call her a genius, but we think she's a genius at one, and she may not be aware that she has to be careful, and the family members may think that they could be talking to friends and all that. So I would love to work with you on signage. Yeah, you know, and if you would work on that, and then we could put it up around, you know, around the town, and really, you know,
That'd be great.
help promote it.
Yeah, I had a question. So you said they get a tag, like the adults wear a tag.
Yeah.
So is a tag, can you just explain a little more? Is a tag like a necklace or something they put on, or what is this tag?
It's a necklace, basically. It's just like a piece of plastic that you wear around your neck.
Right, because I was thinking perhaps with the necklace, maybe there could be more functionality. Like for seniors, that we have these alarm alerts. If God forbid we fall down, it beeps and it's tied into a system, either family system or police system that says someone has fallen down. So I was thinking while you were talking about your foundation, is if this tag could have some more functionality on it, that it would be waterproof, that maybe could go on the wrist of a child or something, and the wrist on the child and also on the adult. And if the child goes into the water or something, that the sensor would then sense it on the adult and make a beep or an alarm to alarm the adult. Because what if the adult has the tag but falls asleep?
Yeah.
Or, you know, I'm just thinking, or gets involved again, right? And God forbid something happens to the child. I was wondering, with all the technology that we have today and artificial intelligence, is there some way, or maybe it's out on the market, or if not, could, you know, we work with you, some of my students at the university work with you to help design some sort of technology system with the sensor that goes on, you know, that's proof, that doesn't harm the baby, but is also through Bluetooth technology or some kind of technology through the water that could then beep or notify the adult. What would you think about that, or is that something?
That's definitely a great idea. I think that would be very helpful to everyone, because it is hard to keep watch of your child at all times, and having something like that would make it a lot easier.
Does your foundation also focus on like private pools? So sometimes you know, somebody will have you could have classmates. They probably have, some people may have swimming pools in their backyard. Some people will have a birthday party or a graduation party, and I'm sort of wondering if the foundation focuses also on not only on public, you know, beaches and pools, but also on private pools.
Yeah. Last summer I started a private lifeguarding business because I'm also a lifeguard myself. And so I tried to be a private lifeguard to many events, because the private events are when you become busy. And so having a lifeguard there and watching the pool definitely makes it a lot easier. So that's what I hope to do. And that's what the people at my school are also doing when I sponsor them. And that's the commitment when I sponsor anyone, that they will be there for the private pools.
So if somebody has like a party, say in July,
Yeah.
and they basically, you know that there's going to be a lot of parents there, they could contact the foundation, and then would you like assign a lifeguard to the to be at their house, and does that lifeguard get paid by the homeowner who's having the party?
The homeowner can pay them, but I'm also offering to pay them as well, so they are more willing to do this. We said we'd pay for their gas and anything to get them there, because it's so important. That
is really amazing.
It is.
You know, I'm really so impressed with you, because you're really coming up with really creative initiatives, and you're probably saving, lives. The thing is, everybody says somebody's a lifesaver when they see a life being saved, but people don't always get the credit for saving a life, because you're helping people avoid a tragedy by taking precautions and by learning about this whole thing. I wanted to ask, because I think you're definitely like a rising star in the community, and I'm wondering, what your goal is after what you're going to be majoring when you go to college. I would be amazed if a college rejected you. You should get a scholarship. So if when you apply for colleges, I'm going to definitely write a letter of recommendation for you.
Thank you.
But the thing is, like, what's your goal in life?
Well, right now I'm part of EVAC, which is Eastchester Volunteer Ambulance Corps. So I hope to maybe become an EMT. In college, I want to major in public health. I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but I know that I want to continue helping people in the community. And that's really all I know for now.
Yeah, this is like so inspiring because
It's very inspiring.
I watch the news every single day, and you really get down in the dumps because you see all the horrible things that people are doing, and then I meet somebody like you who really is making a really positive difference in the lives of others. And you've been doing this for more than a year. You've been working on this. You're passionate about it. You're always coming up with creative ideas. So I think that we're like so fortunate to have you in the community, and you've turned a tragedy into an opportunity to help other families avoid something similar. Your parents must be so proud of you.
They tell me that a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So are your parents, are they swimmers or lifeguards as well?
They were both lifeguards.
How do you manage managing the foundation with school and as a junior with all the regents and APs and, it's very challenging in the junior year.
It's definitely been hard. I can tell you that I'm skipping lacrosse right now to be here.
Oh, we're so sorry to lacrosse
It's
coaches.
okay.
We hope your team wins.
But I do find a balance. I know that this is very important, and I'd say that I've almost prioritized this because it's so much more important to me. But school, I know school will get me somewhere as well. So I've been trying to balance it well.
Do your teachers get involved in the foundation?
Most of my teachers don't really know, but the ones who do know, they have talked to me about it, and they've come up with ideas for me, which is very helpful. And I hope to continue to talk to them and come up with more ideas.
And you've gotten some media attention. I remember last year you were, I think, interviewed on News 12 and other publications. So how do you spread the word? Like what's the method of letting people know about what you're doing?
Well, first I tell my story, and then I always tell them why it's important and what they can do, which is essentially but getting a Water Guardian tag because they are free on my website, and we want to get them to as many people as possible.
Right. I'm so wondering if you, when the summer begins, which is soon, if you could also speak at a town board meeting like you did last year and tell people a little bit about the foundation and what you're doing, because I think that would be helpful. Could you tell us again how people could reach out to the foundation and you?
People can reach out to the foundation at waterguardianfoundation.com. That's our website. And my email is samanthaf@gmail.com.
That is great. And
So Paul, would you consider, like you were saying, some ideas, as the summer is coming and the pools are going to open, would it be a good idea, would you consider her foundation having these Water Guardian tags, like so many at the pool openings?
Oh, I would love that. I'm even thinking that maybe during the summer, maybe you could even do some presentations because we have like a microphone at the pool. I'm even wondering if there should be periodic required announcements on the loudspeakers and to come saying, please be aware that there's a foundation that was formed to prevent drowning. We encourage you, if you have young children, to pay attention. And maybe if you came up with like something, then I could ask that it be read during the day at different times during the day. Because again, this is the type of thing that when people are having a good time and they're relaxing at the pool, a lot of times people are just not focusing on their small kids, and
Absolutely.
They may think they think somebody else is going to watch, and all it takes is a second.
Yeah.
You know, so
Absolutely.
if you want to even recommend like public service announcements, you know, on the intercom, then we could ask. I'm just throwing out ideas. You know, we could ask the town board to pass a resolution that would like direct the Parks Department to do that, to do these announcements. And then, you know, if the town does that, then maybe you know, the county and the
Other things will
state and,
follow
you know, the
suit.
city will do the same thing. And maybe that's a way of like spreading, you know, spreading the word. Does that make any sense? to you?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a great idea.
Yeah. So I think, you know, from this, you know, I'm
Absolutely.
getting really
It's very
good ideas
exciting,
from. I'm thinking that, you know, what I would suggest that maybe you consider is if we could put up like come up with, if maybe a foundation could design some posters about drowning and prevention and talk about how they could get in touch with your foundation and what you do. You know, like we could put them up at key places like at the pool, and you know, you could help us decide where to
Yeah.
put it up. I think that would be really great. And then if we could come up with a public service announcement, I would think that
Absolutely.
that would be like also like, you know, great. And then I could ask the board to pass a law that would require this to be read during the day. You know, you could do it. You know, we could say it has to be done every hour. You know, by a lifeguard, and then you know the lifeguards have a station. Well, it takes an intercom, and they could say beginning of the hour. They just say, if you have children, be careful. You know, something, and you could come up with the wording. If you do that, I would think that would be like a really great initiative, because then the town is
absolutely.
partnering with your foundation,
Yeah.
and then we could get you know, other municipalities in the county to do the same thing. Maybe that will save like a lot of lives. And then if you do the poster, we could even if you want to say if you have a private pool, we could even publicize that.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
because I think it's more than just the awareness. I think your foundation is also doing retraining. You know, as a parent myself, it's, you know, we are aware of these things, but it's more than just being aware. We have to be retrained to be focused, like Paul
Yeah.
said, to watch diligently at that pool. So it's not saying, oh yeah, I'm aware, I know I'm supposed to do that, but I have to be retrained. And so I'm thinking, because this is you're such an inspirational young lady, that this should even be brought to PTA. PTA meetings, maybe start at your Edgemont PTA meeting, the PTA, the Parent Teachers Association, and let parents know that they have to be not just aware, but they need to be retrained to be more focused and more diligent at that pool,
Yeah.
right? That's really what it is. So it's a retraining. So some of us are aware, we know about drowning, but we are not retrained to know what to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what your foundation is doing, which is just it's like so inspirational, that you're making us be retrained and understand the real seriousness of this, that although a pool is a fun place, it could also has the potential to be a tragedy place if we are, as parents and guardians, are not diligent.
Are there any statistics on how many drownings there are a year? Are you aware of that?
I'm not completely sure, but I think there's around 900. I don't know.
Right. So, right, because I think this is more common than
We know.
people think it was every single year. So this is great. I'm like really looking forward to working with you and helping the foundation. And you know, there may be like grants. I don't know if your foundation has applied for, you know, say from the state or federal government or some not-for-profit organizations for grants that could spread the word, because you know what you're doing is like so important, and I don't know of any other foundation that is doing what you're doing. So you know, I'm more than happy to put you in touch with others and see, you know, if we could really help make this even bigger than it is.
That sounds like a great idea.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No. Thank you for talking to me. I really appreciate you taking your time to speak with me.
Great. Thank you.
Well, thank you. We wish you all the best in your future, and good luck to your lacrosse team today. So thank you.
Thank
Great.
you.
So thanks a lot and good luck. And we'll see you next week on Paul Feiner, Greenburgh Town Supervisor.
Pauline Mosley.
And if you have any questions or concerns about any matters relating to the town, call us at call me at 438-1343. And this is, I think, our 13th segment.
13th segment.
Of solving problems. And every week what we've been doing is we've been trying to highlight different types of problems and come up with different solutions. And this has been really a very interesting experience. I've been learning a lot thanks to your efforts.
Thanks to you, Paul. Thanks for having me. And thank you all.